Banshees. Okay.
Yeah, I mean the factory was a decent distance away from the barracks, so I was like, maybe. Why would he put it so far away? So yeah, this is gonna be Banshees. The question is he gonna get cloak with it? And I think there's a good possibility. You know, a lot of people talk about the strength of the 1-1-1 from the Terran player, and I've said it for a long time. I'm like, the moment Terran players start using cloak Banshees rather than in the early game, in the mid to late game, that's when things are gonna get pretty scary for the Protoss. At least for me as a Protoss player. You know, if I scout a fast expand, I'm not necessarily going to be thinking about, you know, any type of cloak Banshee play. But we'll have to see how effective this is from coLqxc. And there he is. He's starting cloak, and a Banshee will start as soon as he can. There it is. So we'll have to see if NightEnD is prepared for this. The good news for him is he got a robo really fast, and he has an observer on the way. So I feel like NightEnD is coming on is on the better end of a build order right now.
Yeah, and it's crucial that NightEnD got a robotics facility rather quickly, because with these positions that coLqxc and NightEnD are put in, it's good that coLqxc is getting Banshees. They're not going to take so long to go ahead and get into your main base. Banshees do pretty good against probes and do significant economic damage if he is able to get in there. But cloak is on its way, as you said. Adding additional barracks here in the main of coLqxc, and the observer is actually going to make its way into the main. It's going to scout basically everything. He sees the starport. He sees the cloak even being upgraded. I hope he does. And Colossus on the way, so NightEnD really favors this Colossus play in PBT. We haven't really seen a lot of early Storm opening or any kind of Charge Lot Blink opening from NightEnD, which is, I'm not going to say surprising, but maybe that might work a little bit better in his favor. He's going to get a Forge. Banshee now is out for coLqxc, making its way across the map. And at this point, NightEnD is, I think he sees it. He should be fine against this.
This is good. I think this is good for NightEnD. You know, he saw, it's not like the Banshee appeared in his mineral line, started attacking, and then cloaked, and that's like the first he knows about it. No. He had an observer in his opponent's base, saw the cloak researching, saw the Banshees in production. So he has an observer at his mineral line. Guess what, the Banshee's gonna cloak? Oh well, I have stalkers and I'm gonna take it down. And now we're in a situation where coLqxc, he invested a lot into this tech. He invested a lot in the cloak, a lot into these Banshees, and they have not come close to paying for themselves. So this gives NightEnD a timing to feel safe. It gives him a timing of safety. He can either use this to go for a push a little bit, you know, pretty soon, or he can tech up a little bit, get some upgrades, and, you know, start gradually adding probes and maybe start thinking about taking a third.
Yeah, and NightEnD is getting a few upgrades of his own right now. He is going to get armor for his Forge. He's also going to get the charge for the Zealots. And supply advantage right now a little bit in the favor of coLqxc, not really a huge advantage. 93 supply to 89 Harvester advantage. It's going to be in the favor of NightEnD. 53 probes to 48 SCVs. And the composition of coLqxc looks to be mainly Marines, a few Marauders mixed in, and Banshees. And he's now going to float on the starport to the reactor. So we're going to see medevacs here make their way onto the map very soon for coLqxc. And overall, NightEnD is going for a very good unit composition. Charge is going to play a lot in the engagement with the Colossus. Charge lot, Colossus are very good. But coLqxc is still putting on damage, man, with the Banshee, making its way into the natural, trying to do additional damage to these units, picking off as few sentries if possible. Stim on the way, and thus far in the game, it seems both players are kind of mutually respecting each other. Going to try to take a third is NightEnD. coLqxc also taking the third. And yeah, that's pretty much the stage of this game right now.
Yeah, coLqxc has his play lead right now, 115 to 102, but NightEnD has the hefty tech that is the Colossus. Banshee's still trying to do damage here from coLqxc, again, trying to pay for the investment he put into it. And NightEnD took down the rocks towards his third. That may, you know, encourage him. That may, you know, get us to think that he's actually going to take that pretty soon. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Researching. He just finished charge, now starting Blink. He's also researched +1 ground armor. So I'm wondering who's going to be the first one to instigate some sort of push, some sort of pressure. But NightEnD right now just trying to focus on preventing additional damage from those cloaked Banshees.
Yeah, and I like the Banshee positioning here at the third expansion from coLqxc. Once NightEnD establishes it, or even thinks about taking a third, he's immediately going to react. In fact, his third is already completed. All he has to do is really float it over. Actually, almost completed for coLqxc. But upgrades are on the way. We do see Blink being started for NightEnD, Thermal Lance for the Colossus, armor on the way as well for the Gateway units, additional Colossus in production. And this is sort of what haunted NightEnD in the previous games. His tech transition into Storm or into Archons was pretty late. He seems to rely very heavily here on his Colossus play. which might not be so good against what coLqxc is doing. Actually, there's no Vikings on the map for coLqxc, so this actually might work, given the fact that coLqxc really does delay Vikings in TVP. But supply advantage in the favor of coLqxc, 149 to 131 of NightEnD, and there is a drop.
Oh, there is?
I think I saw a drop.
I think he's about... Like, he's scanned above his army. And
no, there's no drop.
Usually as a Terran, when you scan above your army, you're getting rid of the Observer, so you can start loading up those medevacs and go for some, that drop harassment.
I thought the Banshee was a drop.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But it looks like coLqxc going to march outside of his natural expansion. And you said it, man. No Vikings. Again, he's relying on just pure mass bio. He's going to rely on his micro, his ability to target down the Colossi, his ability to spread out his units to minimize the splash damage from those Colossi, and his ability to spread out his opponent across all the expansions. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he lifted off a couple medevacs, sent one to the third, sent one to the main. There's a lot of airspace on this map. However, you talked about High Templars earlier. High Templar Archives is almost done, so NightEnD will be able to morph in a bunch of those and make them into Archons, or save 1 or 2 for feedback.
Yeah, coLqxc actually getting ready to load into the medevacs. There's a bunch of units into these medevacs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 medevacs here for coLqxc. And yeah, as you said it, man, Storm is going to be here very soon. It looks like the Temple Archives has it completed. I don't think has it completed?
Yes,
Where's the Temple Archives? Okay,
done.
yeah, it's completed. So he needs to start Storm as quickly as possible. But coLqxc, this is the power of coLqxc's play. He is able to be aggressive more than one place. Looks like NightEnD trying to engage into the armor of coLqxc does trap a few of these bio units. But there is so many units into this drop. NightEnD is on top of it. He sees this. He's selecting his units. There we go. He's finally going to be attacked into it. And coLqxc dropping all of his bio units again. Upgrades are still in the favor. Actually, 1-1 for coLqxc, 2-1, 2-0 for NightEnD. NightEnD actually might just be able to clear it up because there's actually not even a single Viking here for coLqxc. Moving forward again, going to focus down. Blinking forward, trying to focus down some of these medevacs. The Nexus goes down. That's a good victory for coLqxc, but you lost a lot of units there.
coLqxc going into the natural third of his opponent with a Marine and Marauder, forced a lot of Zealots being warped in. Will that be enough to hold this off? No, it won't. And now coLqxc should either target down the probes or the Nexus, try to get some economic damage done to make this worth it. Targeting down a cannon for now targeting down those probes. Meanwhile, NightEnD trying to split up his army efficiently because he knows that drop is still lurking outside of his main base and wants to prevent that from doing any more damage. But keep in mind, coLqxc behind this has a third. He's up to 64 Harvesters, his opponent only at 50 Harvesters. coLqxc now adding on 4 Vikings at a time, dropping again in the main base of his opponent.
Yeah, there's a few Templars here being warped in for NightEnD, so he's going to be able to mix that into his composition. Storm is just going to get started. He's going to get an additional Observer, knowing that he has no kind of detection against his Cloud Banshee. A little bit of a problem here for NightEnD. The Banshee's actually doing a lot of damage. But again, the drop coming into the main. coLqxc is just everywhere, man. Yeah. The medevacs are just such an annoyance right now for NightEnD, not able to pick them off. And these drops are going to be a little bit hazardous.
The main Nexus? Did we see that?
Yeah, when he dropped all of his units, he just focused on the Nexus.
I completely, like,
but
my mind selectively ignored
now,
that.
Man.
But that's a big deal, man. Taking out that main, and coLqxc has a third. His main is fine. coLqxc, I think he's fine here. I think he's in a good situation. Again, he's adding on those Vikings. 3-3 on the way. NightEnD only at 0-2 in favor of the armor upgrades, but he doesn't have those High Templars. These medevacs are full of energy, so feedbacks will one-shot them, and we saw that there. But NightEnD looks like he's going to go for a push here, and we'll have to see if this is effective.
And this is a cool timing from NightEnD. coLqxc does not have a Ghost Academy yet. It's actually almost completed. He does have a few Storms. He does have 5 Templars, so these Templars are going to play a huge role in this engagement. coLqxc going to stem forward right now, going to try to focus some of these units, but NightEnD very smartly will pick away. And there is Storm, and yeah, just as you said, there's no Ghost Academy right now. It just got completed. He needs to get Ghosts on the map. Blinking forward is going to be NightEnD. Moving into the Zealots. Charge is completed, and Storm is going to play so much in the favor of NightEnD right now. There's only about 4 Vikings. They're going to get picked off. coLqxc is doing such a good job of splitting his units, man. coLqxc, I mean, looking at the army of NightEnD to coLqxc, I would have thought NightEnD would be ahead just because of Storms. But coLqxc's control in that engagement was just amazing.
Yeah, really good. And again, I mean, honestly, a lot of the Storms hit. But again, the upgrades from coLqxc are just so good right now. He's 2-2, 3-3 is about to finish. That's supremely over, again, the 0-2 from NightEnD. So while the Storms were pretty good, coLqxc's production, I mean, he doesn't mind using losing a few infantry units. And of course, targeting down those Colossi with the Vikings so important. Once the Colossi are out of the battle, there goes half of your splash damage, right? So just really well played by coLqxc. And honestly, you know, that's how you're supposed to micro it. You know, move your Marines and Marauders back, get out of range of the Colossi. Well, the Vikings killed the Colossi, so you know the Colossi can't do any damage. Guess what? Marines and Marauders are going to be pretty good, and the Protoss player is forced to focus on just money storms. But coLqxc, again, his upgrade's too good, his production too good. Finds himself ahead 191 to 148 in that supply. NightEnD trying to add a fourth. And look at this, we're seeing battle cruisers. coLqxc is making a battle cruiser right now.
Oh my god. I'm not surprised, to be honest. coLqxc is very creative in pretty much all his matchups. I'm not surprised at all to see battle cruisers. You never really see that in TVP. But yeah, making battle cruisers, making ghosts. NightEnD, as you said, is trying to take that fourth expansion. coLqxc's expansion for the fourth is actually just finished. The command center finished at the third, so all he really has to do is float it over and take the expansion. But battle cruisers, actually not even battle cruisers, man. It's one battle cruiser.
Yeah, man.
So that might actually just be the hero battle cruiser here for coLqxc. Supply advantage in the favor of coLqxc, 196 to 184. Upgrades are in the favor of coLqxc too. He does have 3-3. That's a very scary army, given the fact that the upgrades are that good for coLqxc. NightEnD sitting on 2-1. He does have a few Templars in this composition, as well as a few Archons. Might even want to morph in a few Archons to make his army a little bit more powerful, because Ghosts are on the field now for coLqxc, unlike the other engagements, and we already know how good his control is with his Ghosts.
Yeah, man, and he is max, and when you're max as a Terran player, usually you're given a timing to attack. NightEnD approaching max as well. Let's take a look at his unit composition. Plenty of Zealot Stalkers, Colossi, Archons, and High Templar. Keep in mind, though, the upgrade's so important right now. He's only at 2-1. 3-2 is on the way, but coLqxc is 3-3. I do expect him to try to take advantage of this timing where he has a severe upgrade advantage of his opponent to try to maximize the amount of damage he can do. Adding on a fourth behind this, adding on some barracks, those production facilities so important when you're maxed in any race. And here coLqxc goes, man. The question is, will this be enough? Will his control be good enough to take out NightEnD in this show match?
It's a good question. It's going to come down to where they engage. coLqxc getting some scans, trying to see exactly where the army of NightEnD is. NightEnD moving forward with a few Templars, might even want to get a few feedbacks or a Storm off to get sniped by the Ghosts. Great control there by coLqxc, and Storm goes off, so not the best Storm there from NightEnD, trying to get a few bio units, not really getting a lot, but upgrades still in production here from NightEnD. NightEnD just like, hey man, I'm just going to go for it. Moving it in, and the Zealots are going down so fast. Look at the splitting from coLqxc. Vikings smoking down all the Colossus, and coLqxc, I think he just might have done it, man. coLqxc moving forward, still has a decent amount of units remaining. Ahead in supply as well, 157 to 106 compared to NightEnD. NightEnD really kind of forced to warp in a few charge lights right now, which are going to be good against his bio units, but the control of these, I mean, I don't even know what to say, man. coLqxc is just running through the units here of NightEnD. NightEnD just did not get the best concave there, and coLqxc is still way ahead in supply. And that was just a fantastic engagement for our Terran player.
Yeah, coLqxc making 5 Marauders, 8 Marines at a time, along with a battlecruiser and a nuclear missile. coLqxc handled that engagement extremely well, killing pretty much every single expensive unit from his Protoss opponent. Also cloaking a Ghost here, you know, sniping down the observers, so now NightEnD doesn't have sight of those Ghosts and has no way to protect them. So coLqxc in such a good situation in this game, taking down some Zealots at the fourth. And I think this Ghost wants to do some nukes onto this third man.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that coLqxc at this point in the game is getting nuked, and there is a nuke. I just heard a nuke go off.
It's at the
and
third.
there it is at the third expansion.
You see it?
NightEnD has his High Templar selected. The question is, does he see it? The Observer's on its way. He does see it, but he has no detection. I think it's going to hit the Colossus. Okay, nice move there by NightEnD. He does save the Colossus. But yeah, coLqxc knows that this is sort of his game to lose, mixing in nukes, mixing in battle cruisers at this point. So yeah, I mean, coLqxc he's denying a lot of mining here at the fourth of NightEnD. NightEnD all the way down to 113 supply, trying to get a few more Archons as well as Colossus on the map. coLqxc making additional Ghosts, so I'm not surprised if he even goes for more nukes. But yeah, this is sort of coLqxc's game to lose.
Yeah, man. Phenomenal play from him throughout this game and throughout this series. Matter of fact, finally getting taken down by NightEnD. That was a headache to deal with. It was cute. NightEnD only had Zealots to deal with it, and coLqxc's like, okay, I'll just left and go up to the high ground. You can't hit me. But yeah, man, NightEnD. Oh man, what does he do from here? This is a pretty scary unit composition from coLqxc. He is 3-3. He has been 3-3 for a while. Ghosts, battlecruisers, Vikings, Marauders, Marines. It doesn't get more scary than that. coLqxc's maxed again, and this is going to trigger a timing from him. So we'll have to see if NightEnD can hold this off, because he's down 3-0 in this show match, man. If coLqxc can win here, he will have 4-0'd NightEnD. And who would have predicted that? Just a spectacular play from coLqxc this entire